Hello, hello, hello. Ah, how is everyone today? It has been a day. I'm gonna move that slightly. Hey, here we go. How is everyone? It has been quite a day. Yeah. Um it's been it's been one of those days where I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done. Like oh, how is everyone? I know we just start there's these crazy energies going around at the minute with Mercury retrograde and lunar eclipses, and everyone's like, oh, things might get a bit crazy. I'm like, a bit? Like, oh, honest, no. Today's been very crazy. Very crazy. Mm. Give the stream a few minutes. We're not going to be doing a long stream today because it has been one of those days. But we'll be on for a little while tonight. Yeah, I'm very happy I have hosted streaming software. I will tell you about my glorious day in a moment, and you will know why I look like this. I've literally like come in from the gym. Yeah, well, I haven't just been in the gym, but yeah, I've been places. Today started fairly well, actually. No, we were doing good up until about 9:30, and then things started to go badly. Now this at the minute is streaming very well. But part of the stress is streaming, not on here. You guys are good. But yeah, we've had some technical issues today, that have made things very interesting today. So everything was going good until 9:30. No, a bit of context. Let's start with the disaster that was today with some context. So we're changing broadband provider. Not that big a deal, apart from if your old broadband provider cuts off your old service before your new broadband provider starts, which when you work streaming for a living is a bit of an issue. So that was first thing. Then I've been using my mobile, because I have mobile broadband on my phone, which works fairly well for most things. This is coming off mobile broadband, because we have a lot of our software hosted. So it works pretty well. I can work off the mobile because a lot of things, all the software and stuff's hosted, so that works. However, as many of you know, because we're on the Psychic Realm channel on YouTube, hi Twitch guys who are on my general channel, yeah, I work doing a lot of tarot readings, and the sites I work for, obviously you have to be plugged in to them. And because they're having to run all sorts of magic trickery, that's what we're going to call the technology, magic trickery, because we don't fully understand it. Because we run all sorts of magic trickery, they pull a lot of data, and they need to pull the data very quickly. And at around 1 o'clock today, the site decided my mobile data was not fast enough and completely crashed while I had 8 clients waiting for calls. So that happened. So I can't do, any of you guys who are watching this who are normally come to me for rush readings, I'm not going to be available for rush readings, probably for another week or so. I'm going on a big adventure next week, and for the rest of this week I won't be doing rush readings. However, Purple Garden has a massive sale on tomorrow where they are doing live readings, and I will be doing live readings, which is not something I do very often. In fact, I never do it. And they're on half price tomorrow. So I will be available for video readings call readings, voice readings, and live chat readings all day tomorrow. Yeah, so if you wanted one of those for me, and one of the people who are like, I'd love to get a live video reading privately, but you never do them. I'm doing them tomorrow. They're half price through Purple Garden. So that's happening tomorrow. That is only happening, not obviously the mobile broadband is nowhere near good enough to run that, but that I'm basically going to a friend's house with a ring light set up. I messaged the Humes. Any of the Twitch guys who follow me probably also follow Herald of Chaos, because he friend group. Yeah, so I'm going to steal Herald of Chaos's broadband tomorrow to do tarot readings from. So that's a thing that's happening. So yes, I'm basically going to attempt to do 10 days worth of readings in one day via video chat. Yes, so that has been the main cause of my stress today. It has been very, very, very stressful. So I went to the gym. So I look like this. I've went to the gym, went to see Humes, Herald of Chaos, and to check my front door key for his house still works. It's going to be like, you know that scene at the end of Friends where they go to leave their key and everyone leaves them. That's what if James and Cara ever move, that's going to happen. So yeah, check I had my key and that it was okay with him. So yes, I will be there tomorrow. And then other than that, there has been stressful situations with family things, which I will not go into publicly, but anyone who has families, everyone has families, but yeah, knows. Yeah, that's been a cause of stress as well. So today has just been one long yeah. But I'd already said I was going to come on here tonight, so here I am online, babbling at you and drinking tea and waiting for pizza to turn up because it's been one of those days. So yeah, basically that was the plan. It was, I mean, like I say, we've got mobile broadband, which we've been using as a backup while the house one's been down, but we normally, because of what we do, have like the fastest speed broadband in streaming from my phone. It works on here, like I say, because my streaming software is actually hosted rather than it being like a downloaded program. But even this doesn't come out in particularly brilliant quality. But yeah, to run the actual professional reading service from, it died. And normally it's been okay doing rush readings for the last few days, but today the demand for it just went. I normally, people are wondering like how many readings I do. A standard day for me is between 30 and 40 readings. And I think I'd done 10 by 9:30 this morning, so it was a fairly busy day. Tomorrow is going to be exceptionally busy because it's promo day. And yeah, my poor desperate little phone broadband was going to just fry itself attempting to do that. So and like I say, I couldn't afford to just not work because I'm already taking all of next week off. So yeah, I'm just going to go and power through readings. It shares Herald of Chaos tomorrow. Yeah, next week, if anyone's interested in seeing how that unfolds. This is the thing. I reckon all the bad luck is happening now. So next week, my ring light's really badly reflecting. So next week is going to go spectacularly well. Because next week, there's going to be lots of streams on here. Under the Swordfit banners, because if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, look up Sword Fitness. Because that's where we'll be doing a lot of updates to, or as many as we can. Because me and Jill are doing the Triple Gordon Challenge. So me and Jill are leaving on Sunday morning. We're heading down to Wales. We're climbing Cadair Idris. That was the non-verbal sign for go and get the pizza from the door. It's not pizza, it's burgers, but there we go. So climbing Cadair Idris, going down Sunday, climbing Cadair Idris Monday, travelling to Lake District Tuesday, climbing Great Gable Wednesday, travelling to Isle of Arran Thursday, climbing Goat Fell Friday, coming home Saturday. So that's the general plan for next week, which is going to be absolute carnage. So stay tuned for that show. Lord knows what that's going to be like. Harold has addressed our internet. And he got upset. He's not seen net connection this bad since he helped me share. Yeah, mine's normally good. Like normally in our house, I have like defast stuff because all of this stuff. Yeah, next week's streams could be interesting because I normally always go out on a Wednesday. Next Wednesday, it's going to be early. It's probably going to be the middle of the day, and there's a good chance it's going to be from the summit of Great Gable. So who knows how that's going to go? Chicken nuggets make everything better. So that's the thing that's happening. I'm going to go and get plates. Plates would be a good idea. So yeah, Wednesday's live stream, maybe the middle of the day, and maybe from the top of a mountain. So there we go. Well, we will certainly be sending out updates via all the social medias. If you have me on TikTok, that's going to be entertaining. But I would recommend you have both me, which is the Lily Oak, it's the same as Twitch channel, and Sword Fitness on TikTok, because the Sword Fitness one, my company page, is going to have all of the like, look at the beautiful views and the lovely challenge that you can do virtually with us kind of content. And my TikTok's probably going to have me and Jill being me and Jill on it. There's going to be a lot of that on there. So yeah, drastically different, but what is my garlic sauce tiny? And my salad. I know we always order salad as a joke, but I kind of want it today. Yeah, so as we are on, this is a bit of an unusual cast because, like I say, my head is not in anything today. Rather than doing, we might do some tarot readings if anyone wants any questions answered. And I might just randomly pull some cards. Or just sit and eat on stream. What I wanted to do is talk a little bit. It's basically so I can pull this clip and put it somewhere. Talk a little bit about the different kinds of psychic. Now, something that quite often comes up when we're doing readings is people are unsure what they're getting from a reading. Now, a big part of this is because they don't understand the different terms. So I'm going to start off with what I do. Most of you know I read tarot online. If I'm not online and I'm at events, I sometimes scray, do pendulum scraying, smoke scraying, sand scraying, tea leaf reading, black mirror work, many things. But pretty much everything I can do can be traced back to something called Olga Abilities. It's a very unfashionable word and not a lot of psychic professionals use it now. But it's basically, to be an Olga means to see signs in things. So to see patterns in things, to see pictures in things that are symbolic. So when I look at something and I see a picture of a bird, I don't think, oh, that means lots of birds are coming. I think it's symbolic of something else happening. And that's kind of how tarot work as well. It's how a lot of oracle cards work. But again, going back to the other things I do, black mirror, tea leaf reading, things like that. That's where my skill comes in. That's my personal skill set. Things that you should not go to a tarot reader for, unless they are also other labels. One of the big ones that comes up is clairvoyance. Now, to be a clairvoyant literally means to see. Now, what that means is, if you're talking to me and you say, I think I'm looking for a new job, what does the company who I'm going to work for logo look like? I'll be like, I have no idea. I can tell you about their company values. I can probably tell you when you're going to see the job advert, and probably kind of tell you something about your initial response to the advert, that when you see it advertised, how it comes to you. I can tell you lots of feeling things because I'm a little bit of an empath as well. But one of the big things I pick up on is emotional responses, and I get answers. I get like messages out of seeing pictures. What I don't do is actually see it. I don't get a visual. Clairvoyants get a visual. So if you want to know what something looks like, or things like remote viewing, if you've lost something and you need to see the place where it is, you want a clairvoyant. That's what clairvoyants do. Following on from that, there are also clairaudients. Now, a clairaudient is someone who hears. Now, this can be useful. It tends to be a secondary skill. People tend to be clairvoyant and clairaudient. It's not something a lot of people who work psychic sort of professionally get or work with as a singular thing. Because sometimes it can be incredibly useful in limited situations. Sometimes it cannot, but like asking of locations of things, sometimes they can hear the atmosphere, so they'll hear the sea, they'll hear bird song, they'll hear if people ask about certain people, they'll get an impression of their voice. So yeah, it can be really useful, but it can be quite limited as well. But that is what a clairaudient is. And then you have mediums. A medium is not someone who, they're very different, kind of oracles, Olgas, tarot readers, rune casters will very often focus on either the near future or give you greater insight into what's happening now. Mediumship is like a whole other thing. Mediumship is about contacting people who've passed over, or contacting people in spirit. Quite often, a lot of them will do things like past life work and things like that as well. But yes, so if you are coming to a psychic purely because you want to connect to someone who's passed over, you're looking for a medium, not a tarot reader or a clairaudient, okay, or a clairvoyant. Those are your big three. You've got the tarot, oracle, rune readers who see symbols and things and can normally give you a good and kind of interpret things through those symbols. You have the clairvoyants who actually see things as they are, so are very good at giving you visual cues and information. And then you have the mediums who deal with the people who've crossed over, people from the past. Those are your three big psychics, and it's important to know them. And I don't think it kind of gets highlighted enough, because a lot of people will come to me, or I'll hear from people and they go, oh, can you tell me this? And I'll be like, well, I could kind of give you a reading on that, but to be honest, you're better off speaking to one of these guys. They're all very valuable skill sets, but they're all very different skill sets. And what is best for you kind of depends on what you're looking for. So pick your reader based on what you're looking to get out of the reading. And that's an important thing to have in mind when you come into the reading as well. What do you actually want to get out of it? The other reason that's an important question is because sometimes people come into the reading and they'll use words like, I just need you to tell me. And I'm like, no, as someone who is habitually honest. And is actually, that's kind of my tagline when I work professionally, is habitually honest. People who come in who just want assumptions they've already made backed up quite often don't get that. So if you're going to ask a question, be prepared to have the answer. That sounds very simple, but that's a thing you all need to be aware of. If you ask a question, if it is a good psychic, you get a very honest answer. If you are you don't have anywhere to get personal recommendations from, or you're not quite sure, where to look to get information on certain professionals. Obviously, I'm amazing. We all know that. But if you were looking for a different type of psychic, start by asking for referrals from people. If not, look at the big sites, the big sites. Now, I've worked for most of the large psychic services providers in my years. I've been working as a professional tarot reader for about 15 years now, over 15 years now, since I was in my early 20s. Currently, I work for Purple Ocean, Purple Garden, and Keen are the three that I work for, as well as doing private bookings on Psychic Realm. Just want scrolling there. When people get readings from me from Psychic Realm, they're normally people who know me, who've met me at events, So they're not looking for information on me. They already know me usually. They've usually seen me on here. That's where they've got the address from. They've met me at an event, and that's where they found out about psychic realm through. So they're not normally looking for a recommendation. The big sites, what I can tell you, certainly the ones I use, Keen and the purples, we're just going to collectively call them the purples, are incredibly strict on, one, what you're allowed to read on, and two, their reviews. It is almost impossible to request to have a review removed from one of the big sites. Now, like I say, I work on the purples and Keen. In the past, I've worked for Psychic TV, which is now Psychic Today. It was Psychic TV when I worked for them. I've worked on Uranum. I've worked, what else have I worked on? Psychic 4, Voice of Psychic. One we don't talk about because they were very unscrupulous and not very good, and I signed an NDA, so I'm not allowed to name them. But yeah, I've worked for a lot of them, and in order for me to, the only way they will remove a review from a psychic's profile is if it is a review of the service rather than the psychic. So say, for instance, the website crashed and they left a review saying, I didn't like this psychic because the website crashed. That's not the psychic's fault, that's tech. So they would remove it for something like that. You'll also remove it if it contains personal insults. And I mean, I don't mean like they weren't a very good psychic. I mean like she was ugly and I hated her voice. That thankfully I've never had that, but I've seen it. That would get reviewed, and if it has incredibly bad language in it, it would also get removed. Beyond that, you cannot get a review removed. So the reviews that you are seeing on those sites are a very, very accurate reflection of what people think of that psychic. Unlike a psychic, like, to be honest, Psychic Realm, it doesn't have reviews on it, but if I did, I could put anything I want on there. My website, the big sites do not have, like, you can't do that. So go to one of the bigger sites, or one of the bigger service providers, and use those, and you will, the reviews on them, you can pretty much be. Also read the bad reviews, because sometimes they tell you more about a psychic than the good reviews. I'm very lucky that some people that I read for, I've been reading for 5-6 years, and they leave me lovely reviews because they are lovely. And I generally am lucky. I'm generally very highly rated. But some of my reviews, for example, say things like she was quite brutal with the answers, and I wasn't ready to hear it. Now, on the surface, it's a bad review, but a lot of people will read that. And I have had people come to me who've read that and went, I know I'm going to get told the truth. So read the bad reviews as well as the good. But yeah, look at the bigger sites, that they are a trustworthy resource. I always recommend Keen. I love Purple Ocean and Purple Garden. DLE, the two that I read on the most. Keen, however, is, I think I've been a reader with them since 2013. And I know they don't recruit readers. They don't need to recruit readers because everyone wants to work for them. Their review system is incredibly fair, as I've just said. And yeah, hi Cara, I will see you in the morning. I will bring Maltesers. Their review system is incredibly fair, and yeah, they don't need to advertise to recruit. If they need to recruit, they message their existing psychic readers and say, can you recommend someone? We're opening up the books, recommendations only, and that speaks volumes. So yeah, those are the different types of psychics. That is how to find one. Now, the other thing I was going to cover on here, because my head is fried, so I'm probably not going to do it. If anyone has got a burning question they would like answered, then throw it out there. I have got a deck of tarot cards with me. But the one thing I was going to also do is go over how I actually do readings online, because it's very different to how I do readings in person. When I do readings in person, I normally do 3-card readings, 7-card readings, and 13-card readings. And they are set layouts. The 3-card readings, it's always thrown a line, but there's a number of different labels I give the cards to the answer. The 7-card readings, sometimes I will do something. Hi, Aston. Hello. YouTube people are finding me now. Hello. yeah, so what I was up to 7 card readings, I tend to do something called a fork in the road path layout, which is when people have got a couple of choices and they're asking for help with a decision. I'll do what's called a horseshoe layout. And my 13 card reading is normally people asking general questions about the year ahead. So I will do what I call a Wheel of the Year layout. I never do Celtic Cross. That is the one thing I'm known for. I hate Celtic Cross. It's like every tarot read on the world, it's like, everyone learns Celtic Cross. I'm like, no, don't like it. Don't do it. But when that is what I do in person. And when I am, I'm just passing takeaway to my daughter. I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I've had a bit of a day today, so we were going to this tarot cast has kind of turned into a bit of a random ramble. Yes, when I do readings in person, that's how I do them. I do them by quite fixed layouts. When I do them online, it gets a little bit more freeform. Now, when I'm doing the little 3-minute videos that I do on Purple Ocean, it's normally a 3-card draw. It's normally a set 3-card draw, and if I need clarity on something, I'll pull an extra one. And I will show them 1 or 2 of them, sometimes not all of them, to the camera and give the reading. And that way, that's fairly similar. It's fairly similar to a small 3-card reading that I do in person. When I'm doing the live readings, it's much more of a conversation. Quite often when I'm reading for people in person and it's a bigger spread, I'll lay the cards out, we'll flip them all, they can see them all, and I kind of just talk for a solid kind of normally 10 to 15 minutes. And then they'll be like, okay, that's cool. And then there'll be a few questions. When you're reading live online, a lot of readers struggle with it because it's much more of a back and forward conversation. And also people who come for readings online tend to have set questions or scenarios they want looked at. So usually they'll give me a brief opener. They'll be like, hey, this is my name. I generally want this looked at. And normally I'll pull I tend to read in grids. So I'll pull 3 cards to get general info. And we'll talk through them. And then normally they'll respond and go, okay, that's cool. I'm kind of wondering how it's going to affect this thing. I'll pull another 3 cards on that thing. They'll go, that's cool. But can you just clarify this point on that? And then I might pull 1 or 2 clarifier cards on it. And it builds itself kind of up as a grid, but it's much more kind of free form than it is when I do in-person readings and I'm sat at a desk and everyone can see everything, because it's just a different creature. It's a different way of doing things. And it is something that you have to get used to. I remember when I first started reading commercially away from events, because everyone kind of starts reading at small events. And at my first job reading professionally was for Psychic TV, which is now Psychic Today, but at the time it was Psychic TV. And I was one of the phone readers. And yeah, just getting calls coming through, and some of the calls you get are crazy. And what's really interesting with the big sites is the difference between how the use of psychics is nationally perceived in different countries. The UK and the US, also Australia, I would say it's very much a case of, hey, I've got this quick question, and they'll just get a quick read. Like, I just want this looked at, can you tell me? Occasionally, if it's a whole drawn out saga, you'll get the whole saga, but it'll be much more conversational. And like I say, we'll start to build those grids up. But it's either very short, or it's a very short question, or it's a longer one, a more complicated one. The other country that I used to read for a lot was the West Indies. For some reason, I don't know how it happened, but for some reason, and I'm going back a few years now, I used to have a lot of clients in the West Indies, and they used to do like it must, I don't know if it's part of the culture there, but they used to kind of like, it was like a weekly checkup. They'd be like, and I would get the same customers, and it would be like, hi, I'm just phoning this week, this has come up, so how's it going? And it would be like a weekly check-in, and it was awesome. It was very good, but it was a completely different way of using the service than you get in other parts of the world, which is very interesting. So can you help? Let's pull this up. There we go. Can you help if A is being fair, reasonable with me? Okay, let's take a look at that. I'm going to give you a very quick one. What I would say is, legally, we're not allowed to read on legal matters. So I know this isn't a legal matter yet, but because there's insurance involved and it's heading in that direction, what I'm going to do is pull up kind of a, you know, is this just a general, is this person being honest with you right now? Or are they maybe taking advantage a little bit, and see where that comes from. Hey, Teddy. Teddy? Titi? Hi. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. I've got the Knight of Cups in positive alignment, which is good because it shows they're not being willfully deceitful. So that's good. They're not being kind of willfully malicious. But I have got the Six of Coins come up inverted. What this tells me is they are giving you an inflated version of what you're being told. It is a little exaggerated and it is a little stepped up. However, that's not coming directly from them. It looks like they've approached somebody for advice, or they've approached somebody else to get information, and the information they've been given is a little bit over the top and a little bit overblown, and they've echoed that across to you. So yes, it's being exaggerated, but it's not coming from a malicious place. It's coming from information they've been given, which isn't particularly brilliant. And I've also got the Six of Wands coming through in positive alignment there, which tells me that keep things calm, keep things civil, and as the process goes through, try resist going, I told you so, when it's actually not as big a deal as it makes out to be. But yeah, don't panic. It is being overblown, but it's not coming from them, and it's not coming from a place of dishonesty. So that's basically where we're at here. Teddy. What real intention towards me? I'm an Aries people. I love you. I love your energy. I'm glad you're not in my house. No, I'm just kidding. Aries people get a bad rap. They do. They get a bad rap. But they're awesome. They have a lot of good positive energy. Sometimes it's a little too much positive energy, but I say this as a Leo, right? Like the epitome of the too much gene. But okay, so what is Slav's real intention towards me? Let's have a look. Okay, so oh, okay, that's not too he's very quiet, he's very studious, he's very kind of like, I need to gather more information. That's kind of his intention at the minute. I've got the High Priest and the High Priestess coming through. He's like overthinking things at its best. He's like, I need all of the information. I need every single piece of information on this person and find out everything about them before I decide the next step forward. And that's kind of where he's at the minute. Now, what's interesting is this is also coming through with the Five of Cups in positive alignment, which tells me that there is an emotional connection there. And even though he's like, I'm just going to carefully get to know more, carefully collect some more information, can't really stop that emotional connection also kicking in and starting to rack up a little bit. But generally positive intentions. I think that's the best thing to take away from this. Generally positive intentions, and just wanting to understand, wanting to know more about you before anything else, which isn't a bad thing. A little frustrating because he does kind of overcook it a little, but generally good. Hey, Dr. Plague, how are you today? I've had a nightmare of a day. And now I'm on here helping other people with their tarot things, questions. But yes, hello. So yeah, and again, this is kind of an example of reading online. It is a lot more freeform. These kind of questions on here are very much the sort of things we do short 3-minute videos for. Obviously in a 3-minute reading, I'm doing it like micro readings on here, really quick flash readings to give you guys really quick answers. in the 3-minute video reads we do, they're a little more extended. It is literally 3 minutes solid of me rambling about your issues to you. And the same for the longer video. I do longer video format on psychicrealm.co. The purples, the pre-recorded videos are always 10 minutes, and then there's the live videos as well, which are longer. I'm good, thanks. Yes, I've seen some of your status updates. This is the thing when my friends come into my chats and they have me on Facebook. They see me swearing liberally at 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, today's been disastrous in many ways, but actually no. Today was one of those days where when everything that went wrong, I was like, I need to kind of find at least a partial solution for this, because I will not sleep if I do not. And of course, today's solution was invade Herald of Chaos's house tomorrow and bring an offering of Maltesers for Panda. She's probably going to be the one that lets me into their house and puts me on their internet, because I'm turning up fairly early, to be fair. And yeah, I'm going to try and do 10 days work on Monday, possibly 2 days. I might turn up there on Friday as well, just to add to it. But yeah, how long have we been shooting? We've been shooting for a while. Okay, guys, I've done a few readings. I've blathered on a bit about tarot, and I am going to disappear. I know it has been a very it works. It's been quite a short stream tonight. It's only been kind of 40 minutes or so, but bearing in mind the technological disasters we have faced today, the fact I've been here for 40 minutes is some kind of minor miracle. And my new ring light works. This is new. It's very it's funny. I know you can see the reflection on these, but you can change it. Watch. Should we have fun with my lighting? Right there. I can change the color of it. Watch. It's warm at the minute, and now it's cold, and now it's neutral. And it's very pale at the minute. Watch, I can turn on to super mode. God knows what I'm going to look like here. Like the brightest thing in the world. Let's take that back down. But yeah, someone gave me tech toys. Go back to warm. There, that's better. So an altogether better shade. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. And now I'm going to go and eat junk food with my daughter, probably while she forces me to watch some god-awful documentary about wedding dresses. Don't grin, it's evil. I don't know why anyone watches it. It's just misery. It's just women arguing with their mothers about wedding dresses. Like, why is that TV? But anyway, that's probably what we're going to do for an hour or so, until I go and have a very early. I'm going to have a long soak in a bath first. Like I say, I literally got in. I went to Shez Humes to say hi because I'm invading their house tomorrow. First, after I got very, very stressed and thought I might like punch through a wall, I went to the gym and did like a solid 40 minutes of cardio before I did some resistance work, which like happy chemicals. And then I drove to Shez Humes and I was like, I'm gonna come and live here tomorrow, please. Can I use your broadband? And then I came home, ordered takeaway. She's now here, and started doing this. And I need a bath because I'm going to be like, I feel fine being on my Twitch and YouTube looking like this. But yeah, the sites I work for may appreciate like a comb, some lip gloss, maybe. While I do it, what will frankly be a reading marathon tomorrow. Yeah, like I say, I normally do. A busy day for me is normally sort of 20 to 30 readings. Yeah, but that is the problem with baths. It's so hot. But I do need baths because we also I need to do more flex work. We kind of rush through our flex work at the gym. And if I get in the most screaming hot of baths, if I don't do my flex work, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, yeah. So I need to do some flex work, and then I need to go and soak in a hot bath, and then I'm going to have an early night, then I'm going to get up early tomorrow and do a tarot reading marathon. So yeah, like I say, normally busy day for me is kind of 30-ish readings. But tomorrow I'm doing live ones. Normally, like, that's based on doing short form video readings, and a few like sort of slightly longer live chats that normally last kind of about 15 minutes. I'll normally do 2 or 3 of them, about 33-minute flash videos, and that's normally a busy day for me. Tomorrow, because it's going to be all live, I'm just literally signing into Purple Ocean tomorrow because they're having a big sale day on. I don't know. I could be talking. I occasionally do longer readings. Sometimes people like to chat to me. If it's something very complicated, I can be chatting to them for 30 minutes. Sometimes I can be chatting to them for 5. And also they get to see my lovely face. They don't have to. They can voice call me, or they can text chat me, or they can video call. And I haven't done live video readings for a very long time. No, I did a few. I did a little few about 9 months ago. It was longer than that. It was before lockdown started. Like, I've lost all concept of time during lockdown. So a couple of years ago, I last did video readings. I do enjoy doing them, and I do them short ones on here. But yeah, it's been a long time, and I don't know when I'll do them again. So it will be interesting for everyone involved. Yeah, and with that, I'm now going to disappear, eat junk food, stretch. So thank you for joining me. It seems that everyone's correct. This whole Mercury retrograde eclipse. I don't do zodiac. This is one of the things I do not touch. That's a whole other type of psychic as well. Zodiac birth chart readers, whole different thing. They're very good for insight. Not so much future prediction, but insight on understanding yourself, your reactions to things. Zodiac guys, good. Yeah, everyone, like, there's readers groups where, like, you know, there's like private groups where readers all kind of talk shop, and everyone's like, oh, Mercury retrograde combined with an eclipse, it's going to be carnage. And I'm like, nah, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. Nothing's fine. Everything's turned to carnage exactly when they said it would. It's slightly unnerving, but yeah. Right, I'm gonna go. If you're on Purple Ocean or Purple Garden, I may well be reading for you tomorrow, because there's going to be a busy day. If you're just here to keep up with my crazy antics, I am the Lily Oak on TikTok. I'm also Sword Fitness on TikTok. If you want to keep up with what on earth is going on next week, you probably want to follow both of those. I will try and get out some live streams as well. It might just be a way to document the mental decline of 2 women who've taken on a physical challenge way beyond what they're equipped for. I'm sure we're fine. We're both fairly fit and healthy. I've done mountains before. Never done 3 in 3 different countries in a week, but I'm sure, you know, I'm fairly good at road trips. It will be okay. Do you want the whole table or just half? Half will be fine. It's tiny ring light and laptop. So yeah, it'll be fine. Half table is fine, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to disappear. I'll see you tomorrow, Cara.